Okay, today we're going to do Unit 7, Lesson 4. It's just talking about multiplying with larger numbers. So thinking about how we multiply 2-digit by 3-digit numbers and 3-digit by 3-digit numbers. Real similar to any of your previous lessons. If I don't use the method you like, please use the method you're most successful with. I know a lot of you are really enjoying the lattice method. Just because I use the shortcut method or the old method, don't think that you can't use your own method. Please use the method that's most successful for you. You need to get out your SAB book, page 271 to 272. It's a 2-page lesson, should go fairly fast. Okay, so first we're going to talk about how we multiply 3-digit multiplications. Again, this is what you'll start with in class tomorrow, is discussing which method you like better. And I know, like I said already, that lattice multiplication is one of them you use, and it's not listed here. If that's your preferred method, please use that and explain why. There's rectangle sections, expanded notation, rectangle rows, and the shortcut method. Remember, your other option is lattice method as well. You guys sometimes use that one, and if you use that one, please write that here. Okay, so this is not a page I can fill in for you. You decide what you like the best, which method works best for you. Okay, so have that answer available and ready for tomorrow when we start. All right, moving on, we're just going to do some multiplication problems, larger ones. I'm going to read the stories to you, read the problems. The ones I have you do on your own, I'll even set them up for you before I have you pause the video, so wait for that. 2 scientists went to Egypt to measure some of the ancient monuments there, help them figure out the information that they need to know. The Sphinx is a huge statue with a body of a lion and the head of a human. It was built thousands of years ago and still sits in the middle of the desert. The Sphinx is about 80 yards long. If there are 3 feet in a yard, how long is the Sphinx? So you're going to set that problem up. First thing you got to realize is that you're multiplying 80 by 3. Ooh, that's a funny 3. All right. Remember, this is like 8 times 3, because when we think about 3 times 0, we know it's just going to give us a 0. So then really all you're thinking about is what's 8 times 3. Okay, well, 8 times 3 is 24. I'm going to bring that 0 here and add my 24. So 240 is my answer. It's 240 feet. And remember, that's a linear measure, so we don't need to do any squareds or anything like that. Okay, the base of the Great Pyramid, this is a square measure, is about 150 feet on each side. How many square feet of ground does it cover? So now we're multiplying 150 times 150. Okay, again, I like to ignore those zeros and put them back in later. And then I get to think of this like 15 times 15. And I don't know, that's just easier for my brain. So when I think about 15 times 15, right, I'm going to start with 5 times 5, 25. Carry my 2. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. As I move on, I throw that placeholder below the 5. Okay, 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. Do some addition, bring down my 5. 5 plus 7, 12. Put my 2 down, carry my 1, 2, and then I need to go back because there are 2 zeros up above that I didn't use. These guys up here, I need to account for them. So I'm going to add those 2 zeros on. 0, 0. So 22,500 square feet, right guys? So add that square feet, or feet, FT squared, right? Okay, let's go on to the next couple. Some of the blocks used to build the pyramid weigh up to 14 tons. If a ton is equal to 12 pounds, how much does one of these large blocks weigh? I really look at this like it's 14 times 2, which for me is mental math, and hopefully it is for some of you. If not, add 14 twice. If you added 14 twice, you'd get 28. So I know it's 28, and then I add on my 3 zeros. Okay, so sometimes to me, I think this can be quick mental math when you're multiplying in units of hundreds and thousands, and there's not digits all the way across. Okay, and we're going to say LBS, because LBS is the abbreviation for pounds. If you guys remember that from our previous units, so LBS, 28,000 pounds. If we include the end zones, a football field is 360 feet by 160 feet. Again, this gets a little bit larger, so 360 times 160. You guys go ahead and work this out, whatever method you would like. So pause the video at this point and work it out, and then come back and double check, okay? If you like lattice multiplication, set that up. You decide. Okay, welcome back. Remember, when I look at these, I ignore those zeros right off. That's my strategy if there's zeros there. So I'm going to do 6 times 6 is 36. Put my 6, carry my 3. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 3. $21, carry my 2, or bring my 2 over. Okay, I'm going to add my 0 as I move on. 1 times anything is that number, so I'm just going to write down 36 after I have that placeholder. All right, and then I'm going to add up. 6 plus 0 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. 2 plus 3 is 5. And I need to add those 2 zeros in from up here that I hadn't taken care of yet. So 0 and 0. So 57,600 square feet. Did I say 600 square feet? Okay, don't forget those units. Okay, let's go on to the next one. The largest Egyptian pyramid covers an area as large as 10 football fields. What's the area? Add a 0 onto the what's up above. That's what you're doing when you multiply by 10. So now we have 576,000, right? Sorry, those zeros ran into each other. Feet squared. Okay. Scientists stayed in Egypt for a year and traveled about 145 miles each day. If there are 365 days in a year, how far did they travel? Multiplication. I'm going to set it up, even if it's not your method, and then you're going to pause it, do whatever method you like to solve this problem. 145, we're multiplying that by 365. Okay, when you come back, I'm just going to provide you with the answer, probably not walk through the steps. Okay, so pause the video, solve the problem. If you don't get it correct when you come back, please check your answer. Okay, welcome back. So when I multiply these numbers, I get 52,925. If that's not what you got, please look back and look for your error. Find your error. Be prepared to share what your error was tomorrow. Okay, we're going to go on. I've got one more thing for you to do. Oops, that's not there. I was going to have you do a large multiplication. I guess that's it for today then. It's not in my board. All right, we'll see you in class tomorrow.